In a world where people are losing their minds, who will be the voice of sanity, of logic, of rationale, of morality and truth? This podcast is looking for like-minded people to stand up to the insane and be real. The Recovery Atheist podcast is calling you to step forward and be counted. Welcome to the voice of change. Welcome to the Recovery Atheist podcast.
What's up, brother?
Love it.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, my friend. Looking like you all set up for this podcast.
Oh yeah, look, I lit the candles. I got the robe on, threw my little ritual mask, got my little Knights of Columbus Catholic ritual sword. It's a 14.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, check me out though. Check me out though.
You are something else, my friend.
Oh man, I'm look. I don't play around with this. So this is my altar though. This is my real altar. Let me turn this light on so you can see better. Yeah, man.
Fucking right on.
Got the book of the law. Got, my holy guardian angel, Heru, Horus, Ra, whatever you want to call it. That's, you already know the Baphomet. You know what I'm saying?
Baphomet, baby.
Yeah, it was a gift from my girlfriend. Got my pillars. Got my daggers. This is an obsidian dragon glass dagger. And this is selenite.
Nice.
Dope dagger. And yeah. Yes, sir.
That is fucking sweet, my friend.
Oh, hold up. So let me show you the mask, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how I feel, I'll wear a different mask when I do my ritual. So you got, I bought this from this place called Black Cat. It was a handmade leather horse's mask. So the dark horse, the apocalypse, the black horse. And then
what did that run you?
$15.
That's it?
Yeah, it was man. It was like on sales like last time they had, man. I was like, I gotta get it. And then
wow.
I got this one costed like $45, like $50 and stuff. It had like a little light up thing inside it, but my son he had got a hold of it one day, and
broke
the rest is history. Yeah. And I got this one. This was from the dollar store. It was we do the 3 days of writing the book of the law, and we actually had to act it out on Zoom this last year. And so this was the mask when I read the part for Rahu Kuwait, which is also Horus or whatever, the 3rd chapter and stuff. So I wore this mask. It's pretty dope, saying Fire Skull.
Yeah.
And this was a gift from my boss. There's actually 2 of them. I gave one to my girlfriend. I don't even know how much this cost. He said it was somebody gave it to them. It was expensive, and he thought it was evil, so he gave it to me.
It kind of looks like a Mardi Gras mask.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, it's good material and everything. It's a plaster of Paris, whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that sucks about yesterday, man. Like, I don't think we can reproduce that.
I don't think we can too. So people out there that are watching this video, last night, I'm going to apologize. I got set up with a beautiful podcast episode last night between us, talking about flat earth and just a lot of different subjects, and it just was great. And I remember I paused it because I was waiting for you to show, and I didn't want to I was on for like 10 minutes before you showed up. So I didn't want to have that extra time to have to edit. So I paused it and never unpaused it. So I went there today, this afternoon. I had a orientation and drug test today for my new job. So I went to do that. I got home. I'm like, hell yeah, I don't have an AA meeting until later on today. I'm going to get this edited and get it up there with my other one I had done. And I went to do it, and there's like 3 minutes of it.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh, that's where I paused it. God damn it, I didn't get it.
Damn God. Damn it.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault, God.
Crazy. But if you, hey, if you're your own God, it's your fault. Take accountability. That fourth step, fifth step, it's still all good though.
So I'm like, well, fine. We're not going to probably be able to get what we got last night. But like I told you when I messaged you, total free flow. So, you know, just having a good time, having a discussion. We'll bring up whatever topics we want to go into. And it's just going to be where I'm going to throw it out there, a fun podcast, you know, that's not as much like the other ones I do where it's like straight, rigid, you know, topics that I'm trying to cover.
Yeah.
So obviously you popping off with what you had to show me right away on this podcast. Perfect. So what you been doing today, man? Anything interesting?
Just, you know, running around handling business for my, I'm in a motorcycle club and we're just getting it all started and getting our chapter and charter together. I had to go grab patches for another club that we, it was a big fucking clusterfuck and we ended up not going to do that club. But our dominance, one of the dominant clubs out here basically gift wrapped us a whole entire chapter, 3-piece, the whole way. We'll be the 25th chapter, the only one on the West Coast. So I was grabbing patches from other guys so we can send them back to the other club that didn't work out. And just getting ready for my grandmother's funeral on Saturday. So I'll be driving up to California that day.
Yeah, your colors, your jacket that you have, I saw that on Facebook, and it is, that vest is amazing.
Yeah, actually, this is the vest now. It's all that stuff is basically no more. Let me see here. So yeah, I had it. You know, the backpacks had to go. That was the Gorilla Kings thing. So
yeah.
And then the name and everything, but I got this at Mastodon in 2019 with the OTO we do every year, which we didn't do it. We're not doing it this year because of COVID. We did it last year, and of course, you know, it's like show and tell. This is common for Ordo Templi Orientis, and I am also a member of the Ecclesia Gnostica Catholica, which is the religious church arm of the OTO. That is Catholic in nature, but it's not. There's no Bible. It's a Catholic church, but there is in ours.
Well, you know, I think a good place to go, we kind of talked on it a little bit or touched on it a little bit last night, but I think a good place to go is a lot of people have a misunderstanding about what you and I represent. Even within you and me, we have differences of we're both Satanists, but we both have different views and beliefs between the two of us. So for you, what is your, you know, so people can get an understanding, we're not sacrificing babies, we're not killing animals, or at least I hope not, but we do have rituals, we do have a feeling of unity amongst each other and the community. So what does it mean for you to be a Satanist?
Well, you know, the idea, you know, of Satan, you know, is, you know, predominantly a Christian Catholic, you know, idea, but it comes from the Hebrew, which is Satan or Shaitan, which simply means opposition. It doesn't mean an actual guy that, you know, is red, but he's really a white guy, but he's invisible and he has horns, a goatee, hood, pitchfork. He makes people steal things like Xbox 360 controllers because, you know, obviously it burned up, you know what I'm saying? So the idea of Satan as an opposition, literally, if we take it by the definition, etymology of the word, where it comes from, opposer, opposition. If you're driving north on any street and cars are on the other side driving south against you in the opposite direction, that is satanic and stuff. So for me, the idea of Satan, of course, is to control the Christian church, the Christian belief system. However, it is basically to show that if everybody has a certain agreed upon thought process or conception, I don't have to agree with it if I don't want to and stuff. And essentially by that, inherently, it is satanic. And I always make sure I let, you know, I have nothing against Christianity. I just don't like the way in any religion people, how they can become enthused, like Terrence McKenna said it the best, enthusiastic Christian barbarians. Keyword enthusiastic and barbarian, where your belief system allows you to be okay with oppressing other people, causing harm to other people, and subjugating other people to unwarranted and unwanted demands and stuff. So, you know, I tell the Christians that, you know, Jesus Christ was crucified as an unbelieving Satan worshiper. No bullshit. That is what they charged him on. They even mentioned it, like, you got the power of Satan to cast out spirits. And he's like, come on, that don't make no sense. You know, the house divided or whatever, it cannot stand or something. So, but in the end, when I say like Satan, whatever, I do know it's a trigger word for a lot of people and stuff, but I want to use that trigger word on purpose because at the same time, they're getting the quality of the way I think that I've evolved to a not superior, but an individual who's learning to be better than he was the day before and stuff. And the whole goal is to cause cognitive dissonance, you know, where they have conflicting beliefs like, well, he says Satan, that represents evil to me. But he's talks really well. He seems to be really caring. He actually is caring and stuff. He helps people and stuff. So how does these things work together? And the whole point is for them, hopefully, to be able to annihilate an old concept with a new concept and be like, you know what? Everybody can do what they want, but it's what they're doing and how they're doing that's most important. You know, their motives behind it.
Yeah. So for me, it's the same way. You know, you talked about the Hebrew translation, which a lot of the Hebrew translation comes from the Latin text as well, which Latin text means adversary. So when I look at it, for me, when I say it, I don't believe in any deities one way or the other that way. So, but when I say it is to be an antagonist, a oppositionist, someone who is against anything that is oppressive when it comes to somebody else and how they live. So yes, a lot of my angst, a lot of my energy does go toward the Christian faith, just because I was raised in it. My dad is a pastor of a church. I've seen what it can do to people being involved in it. And so if a state capital in Oklahoma or in Florida or Arkansas, wherever it's at, says we're going to put the 10 Commandments up on the state capitol, even though this is not a Christian nation and there's a separation of church and state, well, fine, you're going to do that. Then I believe in what the Satanic Temple is going to do, and we'll go ahead and we'll put Baphomet up there. You're going to have to allow that for freedom of religion just as much as you're going to let the Christians. And we don't do that just for the Satanist part of it. Jews would have the right to do that. Muslims would have the right to put theirs up there. It doesn't matter. It's if you're going to allow the Christians to do it, you have to be fair and let everybody do it. When that comes through that way, it's real funny how quickly those 10 Commandments get taken down. They don't want to have anything to do with the Satanists, but the truth is by law, we have the right to have a lawsuit over that and go to court and fight that. So that was like one of my episodes I just did was about, you know, people wanting to say that this is a Christian nation, even though there's plenty of evidence to show that it wasn't. So that's why I stand up for it. The other thing is I love like the tenets that the Satanic Temple has, whether it's you believe in that tenet or just reading the satanic verses in the Bible, that people want to automatically assume like it's dark and we're into evil and we're into hurting people and doing all that. Well, if you go off Anton LaVey and how he felt about it, no, it's more about vanity when it comes to you and enjoying life and doing what you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt someone else. So I'm going to go for the gusto. I believe in going after what I want to go after and what makes me feel good. And Christians, a lot of them think of that as, well, you're just doing that and being an atheist and a Satanist because you just want to sin and you just want to, well, that might be part of it. Yeah, I'd like to live life. But at the same time, it's like you said, it's an antagonist. It really is. You tell someone you're a Satanist and you just see them cringe and, you know, and back off of you like there's like you have, you know, AIDS or polio or something or the COVID as it's going on now. So it's just unreal. I really want to break that stigma down, just like I've been doing on my show when it comes to atheism.
Yeah, you know what? Basically, what you just said there is, I am a Thelemite, as the religion that I claim, or philosophy or system of, philosophy or religious beliefs that I adhere or bind myself to. Thelema is, the law, do what thou wilt should be the whole. The law, love is all, love under will. And the main precursor of Thelema really, and, this is from my own perspective, because within Thelemite community, we have people who have opposing views of what they think that their view should be adopted by everybody, which is like not Thelemic and stuff. Or we have agreed upon a view that everybody should adopt, which is still not Thelemic and everything. And what happens is a person has a different belief or view within Thelema will still become like the Satanist of the group and stuff, So there's many different levels where you find the same thing happening, even within the satanic or Christian, whatever. And it's like Crowley says, the big brick versus little brick. Somebody always has a brick that's bigger than the next brick, and that brick is their higher power, their beliefs, or their system of morality, whatever. But I believe in Thelema as I am to do what I will, but the thing, I need to know what that will is. Because if I'm using my will in the wrong way, it not only causes injury or harm to somebody else, but also me, because I'm the operator of it and stuff, So it's a journey to know that, like Alan Watts says, self implies other. So for me to know to do my will, I need to at least have an idea of what my will is. And if I look at it, it's like a water hose. Wherever I point that hose, that's where the water's going to go and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be on the concrete, Christian parable, or it could be going on the dirt for the seeds, whatever. It doesn't matter. But essentially, the main part in life. So again, like satanic and antagonist, right? For me, AA is purely satanic because what it is against the oppressive nature of addiction and alcoholism. So once I get in AA, I want to free myself from bondage. I'm like fucking Pharaoh. Bondage is Pharaoh. I am also Pharaoh. Let my people go. Let me be free to live right and stuff. But I keep putting these perimeters and these barriers around me to keep myself entrapped and costed in this system that is detrimental to my survival. My life sucks. So what happens is I get with AA, and it really is an It is a satanic agenda to release me from the grips of this hideous fucking God. And then within AA, if you relapse becomes satanic in itself and against the God. So we have this polarity of what do you call it? Prisoner and savior. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't really matter who your guy is. It's just like in what context of your life, how it's going right now, can I be the prisoner or can I be freeing myself from an oppressive force? Neither is good nor bad. It's just how it affects me and the people around me.
Right. And I completely get what you're saying there. I mean, you don't need chains anymore to be a slave. And when you look at the world that we live in today, I mean, we're slaves to money, we're slaves to social media, we're slaves to the news media and the fear that wants to be caused. People live life off that. I mean, they just live in fear and are led around by that. They live in fear and have, chains when it comes to their image. What are they driving? Where do they live? What is their job title? How pretty or good looking is their mate? How many kids they have, or are they good people? And, how much money have they given to charity even? I mean, stuff like that. It's instead of living life for you and what's going to make you happy in your life and make you feel like you have a fulfilled, satisfying life, you're constantly trying to please others. And that for me, I can't do that anymore. You don't like everything I do. That's fine. I'm not doing anything to hurt you. If I am, then that's wrong. But if I'm not, it ain't up to you to decide what I feel I need to do or what I can do with my life. And that's one of the things with religion that really gets on my nerves, is because they sit there and they try to do all these good works and everything, worried about the afterlife and that they're going to go to heaven and have this reward for what they do in this life. And they miss out so much on what's in front of them in the moment that they have, that they can enjoy in this life. They're constantly looking at having this image instead of just enjoying life that's in front of them.
Yeah, it's like one of my coworkers calls it being a prisoner of the moment, and their moment is their entire life. And like, oh my God, what are they going to think, this and that? Like, and we're talking about Satanism too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like the satanic idea and the satanic panic. I mean, like it was there then with a direct name for it, a label for it. But like we could look at African Americans in slavery and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I remember watching a TV show with Huckleberry Finn where he found a slave, or Tom Sawyer found a slave hiding in the woods in the bayou. He's like, hey man, come. He's like, why are you hiding? I'm trying to escape to the north. He said, hey, well, I'll take you. He said, you can't take me. You're just a kid. You're just a little kid. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm a slave. And he believed it. And that was the thing. He believed it. It's like, you know, that when they wanted to be free, and I mean they because I wasn't around then, obviously, you know what I'm saying? When they wanted to be free at, you know, Rosa Parks and these different situations stuff, or the integration to the schools, that was satanic. It was a satanic agenda, and there was many churches that were, you know, and white churches that were up in arms against this idea because they were so used to things being one way, and they don't want to be woken from that sleep because they're living in an illusion that everything is okay, and when I die, I'm going to heaven. And I just want to let everybody know, I really doubt that you're going to be sent to hell and be burned alive like the day after you die, because it doesn't even make sense when you think about it. And you're doing it for gain. What's in it for me? Well, I want to be happy when I die. Like, you're not even happy now. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to go to heaven, that is the most selfish thing you can want. I would suggest, and this is a suggestion for people to learn, like, look, okay, what is good? What is bad? Let me find out for myself. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody wants to have their freedom of speech, if I want to have the freedom of speech and freedom to be, freedom to live, freedom to think, and somebody has different thought, and if I say they can't think that, I've negated my own ability automatically to have a freedom of thought. So anything I want, I should be not just accepting, but okay at the most. I might not even agree with this shit. If I'm vegan, somebody wants to be vegan, fucking go for it. Do what you need to do. I like to sacrifice animals and I raise them back to the dead within my own body. Because anything I eat comes back to life and becomes me. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I can eat things that can be detrimental to my health. So I need to learn the person that's eating. So what happens, like my sponsor says, welcome to Soul School. And he, like, because he's not Christian, but he has like a lot of the same ideas. It's like, we're dealing with a higher power that creates planets. And it's a good idea, whether it's scientism or evolution, whatever, it's still saying that there is something going on here and you need to get in touch with it because you're fucking shit up on your own. You know what I'm saying? And I play the devil. Sometimes when everything's good, I'm playing the savior and shit, but I'm stuck infinitely in between these two parallels. And it's for me to learn. And I have to learn from other people because self implies other. I can't be me without you. You know what I'm saying? It's like we meet, I'm like, hey, you're you. You're like, no, I'm not. You're you. I'm like, no, I'm me. He said, no, I'm me. I'm like, well, who are we? You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Paradox.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way for anyone to just be a savior on its own right. And there's no one who can just be the evil side. Now, obviously, if you're all evil, you're going to be someone like a Jeffrey Dahmer. You're going to be someone like a, Manson, a Bundy, whatever you want to say. But I guarantee you there was things about, and I get a lot of people that want to give me flack about this, but there was things that Jeffrey Dahmer did and Bundy did that if it wasn't for the killing part, you take that out of it, there was probably good things about them, but they went out of balance and went all the way over to the evil side. I bet at one point they weren't doing those things and were looked at differently. They might have always had that mentality there, but wasn't doing it at that point. You can't also just be a savior either. That is just too much. To sit there and think that you're going to be perfect and save everybody and not have a little bit of a devil in you. That is just not possible. Like my parents, they go through each day trying to live life sin-free. They believe that they can go through life day in and day out without having any sin or anything like that. Like my dad feels he can go through a day and go by a very attractive female in a swimsuit and not look at it and be like, wow, and be like, nope, I didn't see it. I'm not going to have any lustful thoughts or anything like that because I don't sin. bullshit, Dad. I'm sorry, but we're men, okay? So, I mean, we're going to see those things and we're going to do it. Now, if you sit there and obsess on it for yourself and then I guess you can look at it that way. But Dad, you're human. You're going to have sides about you. Everybody is. That's on the darker side. But they don't, the darker side is evil. It's bad. And I really think it's okay to be a little bit mischievous at times. It's okay to be a little bit, I have a dark humor about me where sometimes it can get a little morbid with some of my humor that way, but it's a balance. I have a balance of it. I like to help people and be there for people and be compassionate. I'm a mental health practitioner. That's what I do. I help people with their mental health. So I'm giving back to people that way. But when I'm on my own and by myself, there's times I'm not going to be the goody that everybody wants me to be. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, as long as I'm not like doing anything on that side that's trying to hurt somebody, I'm just going to be me. And I think that's the issue with a lot of people is they don't know how to be themselves, how to be comfortable in their own skin and just live life that makes them happy.
Yeah, it's funny because like in AA, we learned the 4-step. We go through the 4-step process, which is designed to be an exercise to help me, the person, the aspirant, or the initiate, whatever, on what to do and identify certain things that are happening whenever I catch resentment. What the person or the principal was, whatever, what they did, how it made me feel, and what part or how it affects me, and what part of the problem am I. And 10 times out of 10 is because I'm thinking about it. So what ends up happening is I am the one torturing myself with my own thoughts. And the problem's not the problem. It's how I handle the problem that is the fucking problem. Now, for like your father and stuff, he's walking. It's very funny because I can identify that because I do have those same traits in my own self. If I'm with my girl and I see a really pretty girl and stuff, I will do my best to I will stiffen up, get weird and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel wrong. The funny thing is, my girl is an exotic dancer. She is the world 2020 reigning champ thanks to COVID, right? And she, we go to the strip club and stuff, she's working, we go to her feature dance, and she'll have girls give me lap dance. She'll pay for it because she believes in paying and helping other girls make money too. She'll tip, hey, go get my boyfriend a lap dance. And I feel weird about it and stuff, And another thing, she's in a group called Jesus for Strippers. It's Jesus Christ Loves Strippers. It is a Christian group created by an exotic dancer woman that's sober, and she's a Christian. It's like, fucking hell yeah. But for me, I'll walk through the fucking forest and find this most beautiful scenery. And I was like, take it all in and just acknowledge how beautiful the universe or God, whatever the fuck, HP, higher power, Hewlett Packard, higher purpose, highway patrol, whatever it is I want to call it. And this is beautiful. What you have done. But then I see the woman, you know what it is? It's because I got a problem and stuff. I can't just acknowledge that same beauty in that woman. As I see in the sport bike or the car or my girlfriend and stuff. And what happens is I become biased. And I think that this woman is causing me to sin, or my behaviors, my thoughts are causing me to sin. Is no, the way you're using your will, the way you're using your ability to identify beauty, now you're taking beauty and saying that it's not beauty. There's something wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? And the big challenge is for an alcoholic is we have the 6th and 7th and 8th step, which is to inventory and who I've done wrong. Well, 8 and 9 step, and it's admittance that I'm not going to do shit perfect. And as a Thelemite, the word sin is restriction. And what does that mean for me? It means that anything that causes me from living my true will, discovering my true will, or actually acting it out is a sin because it restricts me from accomplishing the great work. Alcohol, drugs, that restricts me. Not talking about my sponsor, that is sinful because it restricts me. It's not based on a group thought process or some invisible guy in the sky that says you can eat this, but you can't eat that. Then motherfucker, why did you make it edible? You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, the individual, I'm to learn because my body actually tells me what's good for me. I can try to drink some bleach, and I have warnings. My tongue says, hey, hold up. But if it makes it past the tongue, the stomach's like, whoa, bro. And if it gets to my stomach, the stomach's like, we got to stop this. And it'll activate itself to kick it out. So I look at the universe, the inside universe and the outside universe. It has a built-in. It's a self-cleaning oven. But the thing is, I need to learn how to operate within that, and that's where I get into problems and stuff. You know, I don't know myself, and if I can admit that I don't know myself, it's not showing that I'm weak. It's showing that I'm at least acknowledge that there's something I need to know, right? And one of the biggest things, right, is admittance is important because I get to be wrong today, but that means I get to learn something new. And my life does become an adventure where, yeah, I have separated myself from the vicissitudes of society. And I would say, you know what? I'm going to discover that fuck what Newton and Columbus did. I'm going to do it for myself. Nobody has to believe me. Nobody has to follow me. But I want to have that experience that they had experienced and stuff. And the thing is, if it's not recorded in history, it doesn't matter because I get to live it. And I need to be okay and find peace with that.
Yeah. So yeah, you're talking about 8 and 9, step 8 and 9, 6 and 7 is your character defects and your shortcomings. When the original text was written for the AA Big Book, the original wording of it was sins. They actually had the word sins in there, and they took it out to put character defects and shortcomings in there. But I completely agree that, like for me, you know, I'm in my maintenance steps. I am constantly working 6, 7, 8, 9 if I need to, and then 10 doing the inventory, and then 12 getting out and helping others. So I'm constantly looking at my shortcomings, my character flaws. Where is it getting out of balance? Where have I done stuff that has maybe hurt somebody else where I need to promptly admit where I was wrong in that situation? Tonight at the AA meeting was about step 1 and how our, powerless over alcohol in our lives had become unmanageable. And I said in the meeting that when I was using, yes, my life was unmanageable. Real easy to see that. But now that I'm sober, and I got about a year sober now, that my life is still unmanageable at times. I still have things that I need to get better with at being able to manage, whether it be time or my patience or, money, whatever it is, there's still things that I still have to work on. This is not a program where, I got a year now, so I'm cured. And, I've recovered and it's all said and done. No, this is a program that I'll be working the rest of my life to continually get better at.
Yeah. And you know what? The funny thing is, like, when we're talking about hurting other people, right? I don't want to hurt other people, but I can't act like you said your father does, or people we know, or the times that we have act like my shit doesn't stink. I do nothing wrong. I lived the whole day and didn't have an impure thought of I didn't step on any cracks and stuff. I pronounced all my fucking words right. I didn't curse, didn't slam, none of that stuff, right? But the thing is, if I do, what happens when you do cause harm to somebody? Well, then you know what the steps tell me? I got to fix this. I might not even be able to fix it, but what I need to do is acknowledge it and say, you know what? I caused harm. Step 1, I'm powerless over what's going on. And my life's unmanageable because I need to fix this. Okay, well, believing the power greater than myself can return me to sanity, because right now I'm not sane. I'm insane because I'm being stuck on this hardcore problem, this issue that I've created and stuff. And what's this higher power? We could say resolution. You know what I'm saying? There's a solution or resolution and stuff. And like, okay, now I'm gonna engage in this fucking process, which is step 3. I go to step 4. What did I do? Or what happened? Wow, we get to step 5. Okay, step 6. All right, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And then step 8 is like, okay, well, let's put me in the game, coach. I'm on the bench. I'm ready to get in the game. Coach put me in the game. He puts me in the game. And now that's when the rubber meets the road and stuff. I got to actually practice something in 8. I got to practice something in 9 and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which is inventory and actually going out there and getting my feet dirty or my hands dirty and stuff. And then 10, 11, and 12, the maintenance steps is almost like the steps of reflection. And I might not be able to actually go out there and spiritually awaken everybody and stuff, but my being, this is how I look at it. Gojira has the song, Shooting Star, I believe it is. If you change yourself, you change the world. That's real alchemy and stuff. Now, I may not be like a billionaire and healing people, healing the sick with my shadow like Peter in that book. But then think about it. The shadow of my past, when I confront other people, I'm around other people, I am a changed man. And they knew me from that shadowy past and stuff. And they are healed by this new me. So I can get the Bible in certain scientifical, actual, practical, practices, but like the fucking fantasy shit, I need applicable stuff that I can really work with stuff, But the whole thing is like, if I do harm somebody, I need to be aware of it, and if I'm not aware of it, I need to be made aware of it. But that does not happen without fucking willingness, honesty, willingness, and
open-mindedness.
Open-mindedness, and you can't get one without the other. If you're willing to be open, you have to be open-minded to be willing. That there's a possibility. You have to be honest that you're open, and it's a willingness. You have to be willing to be honest to even be open-minded. You can interject it, and it's almost like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is the sum of the two. So step one is a squared, 2 is b squared, and c squared is the sum of the two. The child, Horus, or Osiris, Isis, child, man, woman, child, sun, moon, earth. You know what I'm saying? What we have is something really special encoded in these steps, man. I think I'm gonna say this real quick before I let you go. I talk to people in the AA. I'm like, what if we were like chilling, me and you were sitting there, me and Dell, we're talking, all of a sudden this white light comes and we're just whisked away to 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt and shit. We're like in our modern clothes. People are looking at us like, who the fuck are they? And we're like, what the fuck? Oh my God, we're in ancient Egypt. We see the pyramids looking brand new and stuff. So all of a sudden a spear comes, boom, and lands right there. And like, they're trying to kill us. So we start running and stuff, right? We duck in this like little desert dirt, molded alley and shit, and we're panicking, and we're like, oh my God, we're stuck in 5,000 BC. Oh my God, I need to call my sponsor. I'm like, bro, your sponsor's not even born yet and shit. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we hear somebody say, shh, and we jump, and we look. There's like this little doorway with some curtains on it, and this dude was standing out there, and he says, come in, and we look above, and we see the circle and the triangle. You know what I'm saying? Jung said people have been getting sober throughout the history of man. I think this thing manifests itself into every age. It's a different manifestation, like a God myth and stuff, but it's designed as that self-cleaning oven for the participant or the partakers to partake in this real festival, because the shit sucked, but something changed. Now it's fucking beautiful, and here we are having this fucking dope-ass conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where history always repeats itself. If we have something like this, we weren't alive back in those days. Who knows what they had for programs to be able to deal with this? I'm sure there were people that were helping each other when it came to, addictions and other things like that. Well, man, I am so glad that we were able to get something done tonight to at least be able to sit down with you and have a quick little conversation. I'm thinking, this tonight was a little on spot where I had to kind of catch with you and hopefully get you to do it tonight. But I'm thinking about maybe once a month just catching up with you and just having a little conversation.
My fucking mind, bro. That's crazy. Let me close the camera down.
You'd be down for that, I take it then?
Yeah, we can talk about whatever, bro. Whatever.
That's what I'm thinking, is just one episode per month where you and I get together and just talk the shit and just have a free-for-all episode to give out there to the people.
For sure.
Man, well, I'm going to let you go. I want to thank you for coming on. If you don't know who he is on YouTube, he's called the Mental Ninja. Is that correct?
Yes.
So definitely look him up, and thank you for joining us tonight to have the episode, and thank you, buddy, Zach, for coming on tonight. All right?
Yeah, everybody, don't forget, when you watch this video, share it on your Facebook and your Instagram and stuff, so it helps him build followers and stuff. And you're in the satanic community, the Thelemic community, the Christian community. We're trying to keep it honest and have fun with fucking very controversial topics, but plug your friends on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely share me, subscribe. I'm definitely got some cool guys and cool friends that I'm definitely hooking up and getting on the show. So yeah, definitely give a shout out to me anytime. You know where I'm at. So peace out, everybody. Peace out, Zach.
Threes.
Thank you for listening to the Recovery Atheist podcast. It's now up to you. What will you do with what you've heard? How will you use it? I challenge you not to stay silent. Be heard. Be real. Be different.